I left Combichrist because it was just time. It was like, sometimes you're, in my experience, for those who don't know, I've been sober for 3 years now. And before I was sober, I would say all my relationships with women were like great at first, and then started to be not so great, and then fighting a lot and just dragging it out and treating each other poorly, and then until it finally just exploded and there was like no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like the relationship was over, it ended, one person dumped the other person, and it was like, don't ever fucking speak to me again. And I can't say that I didn't have a lot to do with that. I became a lot more self-aware after I got sober, and I learned to respect myself and love myself, and then respect other people in turn, which I realized through my sobriety that I probably never did before. I really didn't have any respect for my life, anyone else's. I was a mess. I didn't care if I lived or died, to be honest. And I changed a lot when I got sober, and then I was just in this band for 13 years with people who I love dearly, but who, sometimes you're just like, you're living in close quarters with someone for so long. It's like a relationship. You just like get on each other's nerves. You don't get along that great. You snap at each other more and more. And I guess what I was trying to say through like my sober thing that I mentioned before is like, I think that the reason why I stayed in the band so long through all of the, kind of weird bickering. I mean, I don't know. I guess I wouldn't say that I stayed in the band too long. I'm really thankful for my time in the band, and I just, like I said, I love those guys. I guess what I'm trying to say is like, through being sober, I was able to have a different perspective and recognize that it kind of ran its course, and it was just an unhealthy scenario. Towards the last couple of years, I was not hanging out with the guys. I was doing meet and greets, leaving, doing the shows, leaving. I kind of wanted to do my own thing. And I think that there's nothing wrong with that, but when you separate from people like that in a band, sometimes like, it's what I needed. I just needed my own space from it. And like, it's possible to lose a bond, and like people might become resentful and confused. And it's like, it's all normal stuff. This isn't bad stuff that I'm talking about. It's just like normal stuff that would happen in any relationship when it's just kind of like the magic isn't there anymore, And, I love Andy so much, and he's like my brother. So it's like, it was more important for me to just be self-aware enough to just say, you know what, I think that it's time for me to remove myself from this situation, and then I can remain friends with everyone, because, as it stood, it was like we were fighting a lot, and it was just like, it was just going to come to a day where like one of us were so fed up with the other, where it was just going to be like, get the fuck out of here and never speak to me again, which is how all my old relationships went. I didn't want that to happen. So I just decided to move on. And, it was just like a people's, places, and things thing for me. I just needed, because of my sobriety, like a fresh start and like a new perspective, a new outlook, a new environment. And, that's pretty much it. That sums it up.